What's happening, everybody? I am here in the beautiful West Texas hill country starting a week-long hunt this weekend. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk to you about what I put in my hunting pack. This is The Real Outdoors. I am Tim Jones. If this is your first time here, I do videos about the outdoors. Real outdoors, outdoors. I know it's a big stretch. But what you'll see is hunting videos, such as this one. Product reviews. Some of this will include product reviews because I'll talk about the products I use in my hunting pack. I will do tips and tricks, things that I find work really well in the outdoors. If you're into that type of video, please click that red subscribe button, hit the like button on this video if this is something that you got value from. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow. Let's get on with talking about what I take out to the field with me in my hunting pack. Let's start with what pack I take. I used to take just a regular Walmart backpack, kind of small, and what I found was, especially in the colder months, I do hunt in West Virginia in the winter, so it gets really cold and it's a pretty long hike to my stand. So what I do is take my clothes in my pack with me up to the stand and then put them on when I get to the stand. That way I'm not sweating through my clothes, getting myself all wet, and then sitting in freezing temperatures. The problem was with the little Walmart backpack that I used is that I didn't have space for my cold weather clothes. So I went ahead and got this Alps Outdoors backpack. I love this thing. It's an internal frame backpack. It is a little bigger than you need, especially in the summer, but it's extremely comfortable. I mean, it even has a waist belt. It actually has this zippered back here that expands. So let me just show you. You unzip this back part and it expands. It's not a closed compartment, but it does give you a place to put all those winter clothes when you want to take extra clothes up to the stand to keep warm. So the other thing you can use it for, and that's what Alps actually recommends, is if you do get some game and you're way out in the bush and you need to put game bags in here, it's really good for game bags. It's got mesh sides, it's wide open, it doesn't close, so it lets it breathe a little bit, and it's easy to clean out that way too. But I use it for clothes. I love that part of the pack. It just zips right back up, and then it's just your regular backpack. It's got one big pocket. So it's got one big pocket with a little bit of organization in there, place for a water bladder, with port for your water hose if you wanted that. One thing I absolutely love about this pack, built right in, is you've got that for your butt of your rifle, and then you can strap it in here. It actually even works with my crossbow. It's great. You don't have to have a sling. Everything goes onto your back. It's very easy to carry, very comfortable. Like I said, love this pack. Has a built-in rain cover. It actually has a pocket right here for your quiver, which works with my crossbow also. I mean, it's a really good pack. The only complaint I have about it is it doesn't have a lot of organization, a lot of pockets inside. So I'll explain to you in a little bit how I fix that issue. So that's the pack. That's everything I carry. That's what I carry everything in. Now let's talk about what goes inside of that pack. This is the Horn Hunter binocular pack. I just got this. I've used it on a couple hunts. Absolutely love it. Everything has been thought of. It's really quiet. Like, they kept hunters in mind when they built this. And in case you're wondering, I will put links to all this stuff in the description. So don't worry that I'm going too fast or zinging by whatever these things are. Everything you see here will be in the description, so you'll be able to go see and take a closer look at what all these products are. But this is the Horn Hunter Binoculars pack. It has a place on the side here for your rangefinder, and it clips on like that, and then it hangs. So like even if you drop it, it's still going to be attached. But it's a magnet, so it is easily put on and off. No noise, really quiet. Like I said, they really thought about what a hunter needs in the woods with this. My rangefinder, I always take that with me. I've got a Simmons rangefinder. Again, I'll put the link in the description so you know exactly which model and things like that. I've had it for at least 4 years. It wasn't expensive. It works fine. I'm a big fan of things that don't cost a lot and work. I've had some things that don't cost a lot and don't work. I've had some things that cost a ton and don't work. I'd prefer to spend less money and have it work. Seems pretty common sense to me, but this is one of those things. It was less than $100, I think, maybe right at $100. Works, has worked for 4 years. No issues, goes into the field with me every time. As far as binoculars, just a cheap pair of 10x42 binoculars. I got these from Bass Pro one year. I've tried a couple Bushnells. They're okay. I'm not real happy with Bushnell's customer service, so I probably won't go back to them. I'm considering a set of Nikon binoculars. A lot of hunters use Nikon binoculars. For right now, this works. I don't see the need to spend additional money. I use a combination of the scope on my rifle and my binoculars to really get a good, clear picture of what I'm shooting at. I think that's the best way to go, to use the combination of both. So that is actually on my person, but I consider that part of my pack. Field wipes. I always have field wipes. Just if I'm really sweaty when I get to the stand, I want to wipe down a little bit, try and get some of that human odor off of me. They just work out well for having things to clean if you need to. I eat snacks a lot of times when I'm doing an all-day sit, so that helps you clean up from that. Just a really good thing to have with you. The only thing is, it's pretty loud, so you gotta be careful about using it in the stand. The other thing that kind of goes along with this that I don't have laid out right here, but I do want to talk about, is Ziploc bags. I take a gallon Ziploc bag with me in my pack every time I go out. It gives me like a small garbage bag to put garbage from my snacks, used up field wipes, things like that. I always have somewhere to put some trash if I need to. Night eyes, field flags, whatever you want to call these things, these help me find my way to the stand. I always keep these in my pack so I know where they are. As I'm setting up a stand, if I need to figure out how to get there in the dark, I'll put these out. They work great, either the tacks on trees or the flags. I use these flags here in Texas. We don't have a lot of tall, straight trees in Texas, in this part of Texas. We don't even put tree stands up. We use box blinds here. So I like these little flag things that you just clip onto the branch of a tree and you can see those just fine. If you have trees, I love the night eyes. They stand right out, the little thumbtacks that you put in. Something new I'm trying this year. I actually learned about this from a channel called Whitetail Habitat Solutions. Go check them out. I'll put a link in the eye in the sky. Great channel. I learned a lot about improving my hunting from him. One of the things he says is he always uses a hand muff. So I'm gonna give that a try. Don't really have a lot of feedback on it yet because I haven't used it, but I'm gonna take that with. It has pockets for hand warmers inside. This one has a flip open thing so I can actually sit there in the stand, keep my hands in here, use my phone, see what's going on. I don't really use my phone a whole lot here in Texas because we don't have cell service. So, that may not serve a purpose. It's just a magnet, keep that closed. Hand warmers, it does have a little pocket back here. They all usually have a pocket, so I'll probably put my grunt call in there. We'll give that a try, see how it works. Speaking of grunt calls, always have a grunt call with me. This is my favorite call, tends to work every time. I mean, I'm not gonna say that you blow a grunt call and a buck comes in, but if I need to attract the attention of a buck that I see kind of off in the distance, this is a great tool to have in your bag. Or you need to stop a buck, it's another great tool for that. I've taken rattle packs too. They tend to work pretty well here in Texas, but this is just as effective, and then I don't have to have two different calls in my pack. The rack pack, the rattling pack, whatever you want to call it, doesn't always work. Last year, the grunt call was the go-to call out here. It tends to be the go-to call in North Carolina, West Virginia, anywhere I hunt. This tends to be the go-to call that works. So take that with me in my pack. I also have a doe bleat can. I'm not sure this really works. I've never really seen it work. I could probably take it out of the pack, but I keep it in there. It's small, doesn't take up a lot of space. It actually fits right in one of the hip belt pockets, so that's where I keep it. Little wind indicator. I always like to have one of those in there just to see which direction the wind is blowing. Especially, like I say, out here in Texas, I don't have cell service, so I can't just look it up on the weather. West Virginia, I'm up in the mountains or the hills, whatever you want to call them, and the wind plays tricks on you up there. So I like to be able to know when I actually get to my stand, what direction the wind is blowing. Wind indicator works well for that. Let's talk about the lack of pockets in this pack that I carry, the Alps Outdoors pack. So I get these little waterproof bags, super inexpensive, make for great organization. So this is paracord. I realized in the process of making this video, I have way too much paracord in my pack. Paracord is vital. I use it for so many different things. For example, here in Texas, we sit in box blinds and we have windows that pull open with cord. Well, sometimes you get into the stand and that cord is broke. You can't get your window open, can't get it to stay open. Paracord works great for that, for a quick repair on the stand. You can use it to set up mock scrapes. I use it for that. You can, it just has, you can use it to, instead of paying for one of those fancy little ropes to pull up your rifle or your pack into your tree stand, just use some paracord. So I always have a little bit of paracord, but this is a little more than I need, I think. But I put it in this little waterproof bag. It's quiet. It's not like a Ziploc bag that makes a lot of noise. And that's what I use to organize my pack. So I've got another one. This has orange tracking tape in it if I need to track a deer. This one has a little tripod in it for my phone. I can set it up on the rail of my tree stand, but you can see I organize it all in these little packs. It is cold here right now in Texas. So to go along with my hand muff, I've got some hot hands hand warmers. Gonna keep those in my pack for here. I don't always have those, but if it's cold, I definitely use those. They make a big difference. I've got two different lights with me. I always carry two lights. They both have the green light option, and you can see this one's dead. That's part of the reason I carry two. It has saved me so many times when I pull one of these out and it's dead, or I forget one back at camp. I always have a backup. It has saved me so many times when I've needed a light to have two. So I always have two lights with me. I've got a basic face cover. I like that especially in the summer because it's nice and cool, but I almost always use this one. Super cheap little face cover with a net. Nothing to it. I think they cost about $4 or $5. As I've mentioned, here in Texas, we shoot from box blinds. Now, the sound when you fire a rifle from a box blind can completely destroy your hearing. So I have to have hearing protection with me. I do have the little ear ones that you can roll up and put in your ears, but I like these Walker's Game Ears. You can turn the volume up and hear a little bit more of what's going on around you, and then it has a percussive setting where it will reduce the sound when you fire your rifle. Had them for years and they work. So that's my hearing protection in the stand. I always carry a thermos with me, usually filled with water. Sometimes I put coffee in it, but I always have some type of liquid with me in here. I like this better than carrying water bottles with me. It's not as loud. You know, it's just a bottle that you open up at the top. It does do that sometimes. But this is always less noisy than a water bottle or a Gatorade bottle, so I put whatever I'm drinking in the thermos. This is kind of a catch-all bag. I always keep my license in here. It's got a little license holder, so I always keep my license in there. I've got some scent discs, scent biscuits, extra bungee cords, those come in handy. Another wind indicator. Sometimes keep some extra ammo in here. But it's just kind of a catch-all bag that I put stuff in. Oh, it's got my measuring tape. Here in Texas, we have to measure the antlers, just do some basic measurements like circumference of the base, length of the longest main beam, things like that. So I need the tape. Always got a tape in there. I've got some extra hand warmers in here, it looks like. Like I say, just general catch-all bag that I keep in my backpack. Most importantly, it holds my hunting license, so I always make sure and have that bag with me. I've got my field dressing kit. We've talked about this in another video. I'll put a link to that in the eye in the sky. It's my outdoor edge, replaceable blade. You know, it has the main cutting blade, has the skinning blade, and the bone saw. So that's my field dressing kit. Again, I put it in a little bag because I want to keep things organized and separated so I know exactly what I need to grab out of that big pocket in the bag. Wicked Tree Gear Saw. This is one of my most valuable tools. I use this all the time You can see it's very well worn, well used, still works fine. In fact, it works really well. I can't believe how fast I can saw through small trees, branches, things like that. This is an invaluable tool. There's just so many uses. I use this all the time. I clear out trees so that my trail cameras get better views. I always have this with me. And mine I bought right when Wicked first came out, so it didn't come with a sheath. So I just recently bought the sheath. Now I can actually keep it on my person when I'm going out to the field to check trail cams, set up trail cams, things like that. So I always have that with me in my pack. And that's pretty much it, other than what I'm using right now to film the video, which is my iPhone tripod attachment, and my tripod. I take that with me so I can film my hunts. I use a Mephoto, that's M-E-F-O-T-O tripod. It's small, it's quiet, it makes zero noise in the stand, so that's the tripod I use. It is a little more expensive, but like I said, I think they call it a travel tripod, so it's really small and easy to carry on my pack. It's really quiet, it works really well in the stand, it doesn't take up a lot of space, so that goes with me in my pack. And of course, my iPhone that I'm filming this on. That's pretty much everything that I put in my hunting pack when I go out to the field. As I say, some things come and go based on the temperature, or if I'm doing an all-day sit, I take plenty of food out there with me to get by for the whole day. What do you put in your hunting pack? I'd love to hear additions or subtractions in the comments down below. I appreciate you watching The Real Outdoors. Remember, it helps our channel to click that red subscribe button, hit that like if you got something out of this video, and we'll see you next time. It might be the video of this hunt coming up. Not sure, we'll have to see. Thanks for joining us. Take care, everybody.